Hi there, welcome to the channel. My name is Nate Phillips. Today we're going to be going through a video that I made before, a recording of my cover of Look at the Sky by Porter Robinson. And I'm going to talk about the song and some things that I did well, some things that I wish I had done differently, and use this as a tutorial for the song and a tutorial to talk about things you can do when you're playing piano. So, some things I'll talk about in this video. We're going to start off talking about the chord progression and melody, and then get into how to differentiate verses and choruses and different parts and sections of the song. I'm going to talk about some interesting changes I made when I played the second verse. I'm going to talk about how I arpeggiated chords and probably should have done it more. And I'm going to talk about left-hand bass with right-hand chords. And we'll see if anything else comes up, but that's the things that I've planned to talk about for this video and looking back on my recording of this song. So I'm glad you're here to join me, and let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to start off explaining the chord progression and melody of this song a little bit. We start off with this B major, A sharp minor, C sharp, D sharp, and really we're in the key of F sharp. So on piano this is a pretty hard key, but just so you know, we're in F sharp, even though we don't really play an F sharp chord. We play, again, it's B. I'm just going to say B flat, even though it is A sharp, because it's a little hard for me to think like that. I'd prefer to call it B flat. So we go B, B flat minor, C sharp, maybe I'll just stick with flats. Sorry about that. So B, B flat minor, D flat, E flat minor, B, B flat minor, D flat major, E flat minor. Now that's the song the way I hear it. When I made the video, I listened to the song and I took the chords as I heard them. Now, in preparation for this video, I watched some other videos on YouTube where people had different interpretations of the chord progression. Some people think they don't have that B flat minor chord and they just go just those three chords. But I hear distinctly this B flat minor in there, so that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know what the exact right version is, but this is the song as I hear it. So you have those chords and this riff in the melody. Sorry. And then it gets a little complicated. You can see I'm even messing it up right now because I haven't practiced this a whole lot, and that's a tricky part, and I messed that up in the video, I'm pretty sure, that second part where it goes. So that's that part. I'm not going to explain every note of the melody, but it kind of hovers around. It's again in the key of F sharp and in that scale. So again, we start off with that chord progression B, B flat, D flat, E flat minor, and it stays that way through the verses. So for that part, it stays there. And then this part's a little different, the wait again. It just goes from the B to the E flat minor. I know it's really not correct to go B and then E flat minor. I should probably say D sharp and C sharp, but I've already started saying E flat, D flat, so I'm just gonna stick with that. But just know that's not really correct in terms of the scale, but it's just easier for me to think of it that way. So yeah, and then the chorus. So the chorus is just B, D flat major, E flat minor, B flat minor. Again, the only thing I'm not sure about is the B flat minor. I mean, sometimes you might be able to play D flat instead, but that's how I hear it anyways. So B, so that's the chorus, just going again, B, D flat, E flat minor, B flat minor. So same chords, different order. And that's the whole song, because then you just get a second verse, second chorus, and then kind of a quiet bridge part, which is still the same chords and just a quieter breakdown, and then ending on the chorus. I believe that's the structure. So not too complicated of a song, but what is complicated is this key of F sharp is challenging one on piano, because you have all these black keys, and for me it's a challenging key. It's not one I play in that often. So if you want to play this song and you want to make it interesting, you have to differentiate verses and choruses and come up with different ideas for what you're going to do in different parts of the song. And one thing I don't like about this video is that I stayed there doing those chords for a long time in the video. Towards the end, I went down here and was doing bass stuff. Even that, I wish I'd have varied more and done more with it, but I think I stayed here doing the same thing a lot. Probably because I didn't practice a lot for the video, and I was just trying to film it and get it done and do what I could do. You know, I work full time. I don't work playing music. I do other things for work, and my life does not really revolve around music. So I don't have a lot of time to play and practice. Currently, I practice an hour a week or whatever I can do more than that, and it's really not a lot. I wish I could do more, but at this point in my life, I can't do a lot. All that is to say that just I'm not always practicing all the time, so I'm not advancing as fast as I would like to, and I'm not practicing a ton for these videos. So in a perfect world, I'd be able to practice a lot more for the videos. But anyways, differentiating. You could start off with triads, and then later you could do those 4-note versions. You could do 6, some 6th and 7th chords thrown in there. I don't know. You could do more arpeggios. Something, I don't know. The arpeggios for me in this one were tricky because, again, it's just a hard key. So just coming up with different things to do. I'm only talking about the left hand now. Another thing is you can break up the chords where you play the bass note and then followed by the chord. You can do arpeggios within that. And for me, probably one reason I didn't do that is, again, lack of practice. Because this is a hard key, I'd have to practice that more. Because I can feel it's hard for me to jump to some of those because it's a hard key. Like when I get there. See how I hesitate to find that B major? So I wish I had just done more to differentiate. Again, practicing longer, coming up with, I don't even come up with an arrangement, but just an idea, like I'm going to do triads in the first verse, bigger chords in the second verse, then I'll go down to the bass, stuff like that, thinking of ways to break it up and differentiate. Okay, now something I do like about this recording is what I did here on the second verse. I don't know what exactly I was playing, again, because my videos are improvised. I have the chords, but it was something like... I was like bouncing it between the right and left hand and getting a little more rhythmic. I'm just picking out a couple notes from that scale. So right here I have the, right now it's the major 6th, 7th, and 3rd. But then in the next chord it's the 11th, 7th. I wasn't even thinking about all that, but just picking out. I could have even made these chords smaller in the left hand, maybe. Just instead of 4 notes, go back to 3 notes. this is where you can see in this recording a little bit more how I approach my covers, in that I throw in some improvisation, and I'm not just playing the melody straight as it is in the recording. I'm going off on my own a little bit and improvising. And I come from a jazz background, so I like to approach my regular covers like that. You can see I'm playing in the recording. I do still hint at the melody because I don't want to, I don't know. In this instance, I didn't want to stray away from it 100%. I'm still sticking to the form and whatnot, but that's how I like to do things anyways. So that was just a... Yeah, so that part of the song... I'm not even sure what I'm doing in my right hand, but I'm just picking out some notes from the scale and bouncing it around. It changed the energy of the song and adds some rhythm and vitality, and it was a cool, just breaking things up, changing direction, adding some flavor to the song. So I do like that I had that in there. That is something, part of it that I definitely liked. Now this part of the song, I want to talk about the one little spot in here where I arpeggiated. I did something like... something like that. I think it was that part, because there's more space in the melody, so you can do more with the left hand. So the arpeggiation is something I wish I'd have done more of, breaking up chords instead of, I don't know, if I'm listening to someone playing solo piano, I don't just want to hear these chords the whole time, which is what I did for too much of the recording. So, and coming up with interesting lines. I can't even... I'm tripping up the melody now because I'm thinking of what to play in the left hand, but... it's, yeah. I wish I'd have done more arpeggiation, but... So, again, why do I wish I'd have done more arpeggiation? Just breaking it up more, having variety in your song and not doing the same thing the whole time. It's different if you're intentionally doing the same thing for the purpose of the song, you know, maybe to create like a drone or a trance, but I didn't want that kind of effect in this song. I want it to be interesting and varied, so I don't want to just do chords the whole time, even if it's easier to do that. I want to break up the rhythm. I want to break up the chord. I did some of that there, but yeah, arpeggiation, definitely something you can do to make it more interesting. Now you might notice towards the end of the video I went down into the bass more. And I just played that bass line, which is really just the roots of the chords. Now what I was trying to do at the end was bass in the left hand bass notes and right hand chords. But again, like I said, this is a hard key. I hadn't practiced a lot, so I didn't really have that down that well. So I just reverted to sort of playing the chords and doing my rhythmic thing. But I wanted to do a melody and chords. Something like that. See how so here I have parts of the chord in the right hand while I'm doing the melody, and that's what I wanted to do more. The only tricky part is this chord. It makes me question if it's a B flat minor, because it might be, because it has this F sharp there. So maybe it's better to do it like this, as a F sharp inversion. That could be what the chord really is too, I don't know. See, again, I wish I'd have practiced it more, but do you hear how it just that sounds so much different than when I'm back here. So having different ways to approach things like that. So when you learn songs, you know, you can learn it with the chords in the left hand and the melody in the right hand, bass note in left hand and chords and melody in right hand, or you can do two-handed chords, which I didn't learn for this song, but that would be, I don't know, I could try it. This is more like a two-handed chord. Now I have three notes in the left hand. that I'm not so good at. So like I said, sorry, I'm trying to say left hand chords, right hand melody, left hand bass with right hand melody and chords, or two-handed, the chords spread across two hands. I could give you an example of that with another Porter Robin song, Mother, because I practice two-handed chords. See, there I have the chords spread across two hands. Even if a lot of the left hand is just doing this kind of thing. It's still these big two-handed chords while doing the melody. That's another thing to do. All these things are worth practicing, and it'll take your playing to the next level when you can play a song in all those different ways and do all those variations. You know, I don't know if I explained everything perfect today, but the thing I'm trying to get at is having variety in your playing, having different ways to approach things, and using that variety to approach different parts of the songs and differentiate it so that you have an interesting song that you play not just the same way the whole way through, because it'll get boring. So you have to learn to approach things with variety. I guess that's really the point of this video, the point I'm trying to get at. And you know, for me, a lot of my recordings, I do the best I can in the limited amount of time, but if I had more time to practice, and I was practicing a lot more, that's something I would be doing when I make these covers. I would be thinking, how can I approach this with a multitude of different angles to come at it from and create something varied and interesting instead of just plain and boring and kind of beginner and basic. So, you know, I don't think this video is by any means perfect. I don't think many of my recordings are. I'm usually frustrated with them and always wanting to do better, but I'm still glad I could use this recording as an example of things. Some things I did that I liked, a lot of things I did that I didn't like, but just breaking down the recording for you and talking to you about this, I hope it's useful for your own playing, and I hope you got something out of it. So if you're seeing me now, you've made it to the end of the video. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope we covered some valuable topics together. I hope you got something out of this for your piano education, piano journey that you're on. And I just appreciate you being here. On my channel, I do covers of songs I like by different artists, including Radiohead, Porter Robinson, Gorillaz, and Coldplay, but other artists too. And so I do covers. Once in a while I do these tutorial videos, and I also do YouTube Shorts videos where I talk about albums that I like, sort of a quick review kind of thing. So that's what I do here. If you like what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe. That would really help me out. I'd appreciate if you could subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. So thank you again for being here, and I'll see you next time.